and 3, 2, and 3, and 2, and 1, and 3, and 2. Let's get it done. Let's do it. Let's go. We are here. We are live. We are so excited. I'm super excited. I'm sitting here with Annabel, the pro, the founder of Melanin Gamers, and she created something super, super cool. But we are just going to learn a little bit more about her before we start getting all up into her business. So we're going to get into her personal business, and then we're going to get to her professional business. So can you please tell us a little bit more about yourself and about Melanin Gamers?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Annabel, or creatively Andy, and I'm the founder of Melanin Gamers, which is a gaming community that promotes diversity and inclusion in music. I'm here coming live from Ghana, in West Africa.
You're in Ghana. Okay, so is this the Melanin Gamers headquarters or is something special going on?
This is the Melanin Gamers headquarters. That would be funny. We do have a base here in Ghana, but alongside my role in Melanin Gamers, I'm also international relations for the Esports Federation of Ghana. And today is a very special day. We just finished a press briefing. The Ghana government has finally recognized the Esports Federation as the sole regulating body for esports in Ghana, which is amazing, really, really big news. And we're going to be able to do a lot with finally getting government recognition for esports in general and actually seeing that esports is something that's major, a huge industry in gaming in general. So, very excited.
That is amazing. That is so dope. Can you tell us a bit more? While we're going to get into your organization, tell us about this organization that you just joined and that you are going to make skyrocket to the moon.
I joined them last year, the year before. It's been a minute. I've been working on Ghana for a while now. We've been coming back here to work in gaming since I want to say 2021. And so I'm from Ghana, like ancestrally, like my parents are from here. And so I've always wanted to, help grow the gaming industry here in Ghana. And it's been really good partnering with the likes of the Federation, Arena 233, which is the gaming center, esports arena in Ghana, and just different content creators who are out here in Ghana. It's been really amazing support and just everyone really wanting to grow this industry. Yeah, so more of this moving forward. So this today is a really big step for the federation and getting government recognition, but the work will not stop here. It will only grow from here.
That's really amazing. One more time, can you say the name for us? You are working with the Ghana Esports Federation, and then there's also a
Yes.
partnership with the biggest thing in Ghana. Just one more time.
So that's Arena 233. They are one of the there's quite a few esports arenas, but we've had the privilege of working with them. They're an amazing esports center. They're based in Airport Residential, which is a really nice area. And so if you're ever in Ghana, check them out. I'm always gaming there. They have top of the line specs. And we actually recorded our International Women's Day panel there. It's really, honestly, a really nice place, and the owners are lovely. So, yeah, I'd say check it out. Yeah. we've been running for over 5 years now.
And what made you start Melanin Gamers?
Oh, loads of things. There was a lot of different things that made me want to start managing gamers. Just wanting to see more representation in the gaming industry, wanting to reduce the toxicity of gaming. I'm a huge advocate for gaming. Because gaming, I always maintain that gaming helped save my life. I have sickle cell anemia, and so I spent a lot of my childhood, teenage years, young adult. in hospital, and so I became like a really big reader. Love reading books, love getting lost in stories and seeing lots of things. And then when I discovered gaming, it was just like it was a book you could play, especially like a lot of story-based games. Like, this is so immersive. I love this space. Of course, that came with like online gaming and things like that, being able to talk to people even if I was like in a hospital bed. And I was like, this world of gaming is so cool. I love it. I love it here. It's phenomenal. And I'm always talking about like everyone should be a gamer and this thing, but it's just like I'm bringing all these people into this space that one doesn't always represent me, which I don't like, and two, it's not always conducive. It can be very toxic. And so I want to make sure that this space is safe. The people I keep saying, come, amazing. And so yeah, but that's one of the those are like the most basic factors of. I mean, I do say this one story that was the needle that broke the camel's back. Something that happened to my brother. So something that happened to both my brothers. I have two brothers, Alan and Adam. Alan is older, Adam is younger. Both of them are younger than me, though. And what happened was Alan was trying to get Grandmaster on Overwatch, and his own teammates were being racist towards him. My sister, who doesn't know anything about gaming, was like, pause the game and stuff. It's an online game, by the way, Overwatch. She told our parents, and they were like, they banned Alan from playing that game for 3 months. And Adam saw this, and he got started getting bullied in real life, and because he saw what happened to Alan, he saw that he was somehow at fault for getting bullied, and I was just like, that is not the right mentality to have. As in, there's something wrong with you. That's why you're getting bullied, because obviously Alan's lost his favorite thing is playing Overwatch. So that's why Adam didn't say anything about getting bullied. And I was just like, this is insane. Like, this, what we're doing gaming is having real world consequences as to how he's perceiving the world. He's too young to lose all hope already, you know? And so one thing that Alan said to me that really stuck to me was, who wins if I stop playing? And he was right. Like, when I got into gaming space, have a unisex name, mute your mic, we're really thick skin, do all of these things just so the trolls could have their way. And I was like, you know what? We could get rid of the trolls so the rest of us could have a really good time. How about we did that? And it was like, no, just grow thick skin. I was like, why are we jumping over? Why are we jumping through hoops? Because there's a small select people who are making it very difficult for the majority of us who love it. And so I was like, yeah, that can't go on. That's not going to go on. It's not right. So many of us game, so many of us are paying for these games. We need to start getting respected because this space needs to respect our presence here. You know, we deserve to be seen and heard in our stories. So that's one of the reasons why I started. One of the major reasons why I started learning it.
And one thing
Right.
you're not about to do is bully me off something I paid for. Okay? It's the principle that matter, you know? Like, you're just not gonna be like, yeah, you can't pay this. I paid my 60 plus DLC plus internet plus housing plus, like, please, plus the service that I'm using. Like, that's silly, you know? And I feel like what you were talking about is what people call respectability politics, right? Like, I'm gonna do this so people can, like, respect me or leave me alone, right? Not even respect, just like leave me alone, just like not say anything. And that just doesn't get us anywhere. Like, you know, I could get on like any system and be like, okay, my name's John, you know, and especially with the way PC gaming and stuff is going, I could be like, hey, I'm going to use like a voice distorter if I am going to talk, or I just get really good at the in-game menu and talk. But I'm very social. I don't like to do that, you know, and when I started getting into people, getting more like involved with people who played games, and I saw how they were not interacting with the community, I was like, yeah, like some of these people are scarred for real, and I get it. You're like, I don't want you to ruin my day, right? I got on here so I could relax, so I
Exactly.
could
Yeah.
forget about what I'm doing, forget about all of the stuff that I face in everyday life, and like I still have to deal with it. I still have to come and deal with it. And so that's awful. And I think it's so adorable. Big Sis was like, hey, we're all gamers. And guess what? I'm going to fix the problem because that's what you guys do. You come in like superheroes and you save the day. And I love that so much. So your brothers, are they both a part of your team, or just the one who's a super gamer?
Well, they both are part of Melanin Gamers. I do help. Adam helps me run Melanin Gamers. He's our principal researcher. He's the one that does a lot. We have a lot of facts, a lot of data on MG that we like to make sure. And he has a law background, and so he does it. Adam is actually trying for a team for esports because he definitely still starts kept playing, and he's amazing now, better than any of us. Competing professionally. So we all didn't leave the space that we love, which I'm really happy about.
I love that. Did your other sister ever pick up a controller and like join you guys?
He used to play actually, but she's not good. But she doesn't care. She will come on when I'm streaming and just throw my game for me. So there's that.
I love that. I don't think I'm that great either. And it's so funny you talking about how it's not funny. It's interesting that you're talking about how you like found this world of gaming and things like that. And how like working in gaming, you did it for a purpose and you got into it. And I can think about I just found out how to play this game. This that was on this demo disc that I got when I was like 6 or 7. I had never played the full version, and I finally get to play it. And I've been going through it, and I've been frustrated, and I've been angry. But I'm like, no, for little Junae, we must press on. So, I totally agree with that because sometimes when you learn something or like you experience something, you kind of carry that with you. So like there was a first game that you were talking about that like what was the first game that like really resonated with you and that you were like this is it for me, like this is for me, like, and I knew I made the right choice by like sticking with it and stuff like that.
That's very difficult. I want to say it's a toss up between the Assassin's Creed franchise, which I think so. Ezio's trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies in any medium. I'm talking TV, but like any medium, that's one of my favorite trilogies just ever. And GTA San Andreas, because I never played anything like that in my entire life. I play very nothing like GTA basically. It's so cool. And just yeah, I played GTA as a child. Talk to my parents about that one, but it was amazing, and it was like this is. I want to be a gamer. Those are the games that made me think like this isn't like something I'm just doing. This is the world I want to be a part of. I never want to leave this space. I thought it was so cool, and these stories were so rich, and I was like just deep diving into some of like it was just phenomenal, and I was like I could get lost in these worlds. Yeah, so I wanna credit those two with making me believe that I was a gamer at a young age. And Sims, of course, I got a shout out to Sims. I always say because that's not really a story, but it is to
Yeah.
me because
Yeah.
every time I play Sims, I create my own little story. So I have been playing Sims, probably one of the longest games I've ever played. Because I'm talking like Sims 2 or Sims City, which is not. It's like you create like towns and like stuff and cities as opposed to like controlling people, which I still loved because I could be like a mayor of a town in Sim City, the old school Sim City.
I can,
So yeah,
I can
Desert Island.
say
Those are the.
I can say that I've never actually played The
Mhm.
Sims. I have it downloaded right now. Like I was like, I'm gonna get into it. I think the thing that scares me about The Sims the most is that
Oh
like
my god.
it's just I have to manage my own life. And I have a dog that I love very much, and we're both very dramatic, and we're both like very big personalities. So it's like now I have to go manage somebody else's life and their marriage and their kids and make sure the house don't catch on fire. And when it does, like it's a lot. So
Oh, so
I
much wonder. Sometimes you make the house catch on fire on purpose.
yeah,
Sometimes you gotta make the house catch on fire.
I think about it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have it downloaded. And like one of my besties, she has so much fun on it. But I totally agree with you with Assassin's Creed. I started out with the second one, And I was like, yo, I remember. So very game on like PlayStation One. So I played a bit of Mario, but I just felt like my dexterity wasn't great for that. And even now, like the way he be sliding all over the place, like I can't, and I can't. So it would be like Gran Turismo, Tekken 3, Toomba, and
Oh,
like Gex, because those are things that were on my and I remember something called like Jersey Devil, like those are the things that were on my demo disc. And so like I'm literally playing through Toomba right now. Or not GTA, but Gran Turismo will like always live in my heart. I've never really played Grand Theft Auto, and when I heard it I was like, oh, y'all are wild. And I was like, this is kind of like above me, like this is stressful, like so like I love Tekken so much. I love racing games. Like I would yeah, Gran Turismo really did it for me, and Assassin's Creed. So I was working at NBC Sports, or I had an internship, and I would go in there and I would just talk about Assassin's Creed. They'd be like, Junae, what's up with you? And I'd be like, and then she did this, and then the apple, or we don't even know if it's an apple, and then. And they were like, "Oh, are you okay?" Like that's literally all I would talk about. And I definitely agree with you. And Assassin's Creed has to be the longest playing game because like I played every one of Assassin's Creed, and I even went back and played the first one. But I didn't play like Odyssey, but like Valhalla, yeah, absolutely. I was like, so. Yeah, I don't know, man. Me and Assassin's Creed, we like this. Like, if you see Ezio, you see me. Like, I know all the other assassins, but like, if you see Ezio, you see me. So like,
I'm a
totally
stan.
get
I'm
it.
not even a fan. I'm actually a stan. I'm like a certified stan or something. You know.
Man, Ezio was it for sure. Ezio was it, like So, um, yeah. So let's talk about it. We're sitting here. We're talking about games. We're talking about GTA, right? And GTA, Call of Duty, anything that's going to be dealing with people that is not couch co-op, you're gonna run into a lot of toxicity. And I have to say that I'm a bit more unique because when I first started playing Call of Duty on my friend's Xbox, I didn't run into like racism. And I just kept hearing stories about it, but like I also wasn't very good, and I wasn't, you know what I mean? It was more like, oh, like let's see if I actually like this game, and that was like on a 360. And then I got a PlayStation and I played on PlayStation, and I think I was just playing a lot of solo games, so there wasn't a lot of opportunity. Like I did play what's it called, like DC Online, like DC Universe, like online. But by the time I was playing it and I got online, like nobody was there, so I didn't really encounter it until like late, like until like Overwatch. Like that's when I was like, oh, y'all are like for real, like y'all really be just out here calling people out of their name. So you have made this really, really cool, necessary, I think it's absolutely very necessary rating system. Can you tell us a bit about the rating system?
So it's the world's first toxicity rating system. So you know we have rating systems in terms of if a game is rated in 18, or I guess you guys have different ways of saying it, isn't it? I guess it's T for teen and stuff like that. We have over here in the UK, we have say over here in the UK, I'm in Ghana right now, but you get what I mean. If it's like the way films are rated in 18, I think it's a 15 or a 16, and then like PG and then U. We're doing that for the online experience, because the online experience is a huge experience. It's a huge, huge, huge part of gaming culture now. And some games they are purely online. You know, they don't even have campaign. So this rating system. We're trying to expose how bad. We're trying to expose what what the experience is like online. How bad or good it is. Because some experiences are lovely. You know, when in the heart when we were deep in Animal Crossing when that came out, going to someone's island, it was so lovely, and everyone was very kind, and it was like a utopia. And I was like, I really want to just live here in Animal Crossing, in this world where everything is lovely and you can see my nice garden, I'll see your nice garden. So it's not just about Call of Duty lobbies, Xbox 360 days, where if you don't have like rhino hide skin, you're not going to survive. You're going to cry every day on a game that you chose to play. So it's just exposing the system. And of course, a lot of these games are quite toxic. They're very bad. And we just want to people to be aware of what they're getting themselves into, you know? You just walk in and you're just like, oh my God. And it's like, you're being abused. And so people are just aware before they start playing these games. Just like when you pick up a game and it's rated this or that or that. It should be useful for that thing.
That's really dope. I'm actually going through one of the surveys, so like, please don't take it seriously. I just wanted to go to the end of the survey, and
So,
it's for Animal Crossing, and I'm just like reading through. Like I think this goes into how you're in, like, how you are deciding that how much, like, what is the percentage of it, and I just want to walk through that really quickly with you. I'm gonna go back. You guys could always do that later, but I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look at like something as like innocent as like Minecraft, right? So you have 62% of respondents reported reported experiencing toxicity playing Minecraft online, and you have this chart over here that also shows the survey results. So I just want to talk about, how do you come up with these percentages for like 56% racist, 54% gender discrimination, and things like that.
it's what people have voted on,
Okay.
actually, in terms of like the survey. We sent out to Melanin Gamers actually community who answered some of these questions, who played it. And we are working with this. So Melanin Gamers and Junae Benne are working on this together. And they got a pool of people to answer these questions. And so it was based off that data that they got these rating systems. Minecraft surprised me. When I spoke to some other people, they were just like, actually, no, it's not. You know, you would think that something like Minecraft. Obviously, when we look to like the worst ones, everyone automatically thinks Call of Duty. But if a system is not checked, it's obviously, if the community isn't checked, if they're not held accountable, they're gonna the level of toxicity will of course increase. But of course, as we get as more people fill this out, more legitimate people that is. I know there's going to be trolls, and we are screening every single question, even though it's anonymized, to make sure that the it reflects accurately the actual online experiences. But of course, the more people we're able to get, the better the results will be. But for right now, that's the pool of people that we used, and those are the results that were built there. Yeah.
So sorry, I was muted. I was saying, thank you for that. I was saying that it's really important that you have this rating because the ESRB is not, it says on the box when people come in, sorry y'all, when people come into GameStop, then they buy games for their kids, or people buy games from anywhere, their parents buy games, especially ones that aren't into gaming, and then they buy their kids something like that's M17, and then they're not even concerned about it. um, they will buy that, but they don't know about like the online activity. And it says on the box of the game, or like if you look at a game description, it says ESRB does not rate like online interaction. So this game may be rated E for everyone, but whatever is happening online could be, a different rating.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good that you come in to be that piece of the puzzle to like help really flesh that out. Um, and I think it's very important to continue to have people to be aware of these things, not only for BIPOC people's sake, but also for the children. Imagine people like your brother, somebody that you can't reach out to like that, is going through this. And then they see your website and they're like, it's not me. It's not me. I'm not going through this alone. Like, this is happening, and people are reporting that 60% of this is this. Then they can make that educated guess of or a decision of staying or saying, like, this might be a little bit too much for me. Maybe I don't want to stay. So yeah, I think this is like a really good system, and Minecraft is a bit surprising, but so is Roblox. But because those places are unmonitored, that's where like predators are going, because it's a unmonitored, like unfiltered. I think they're trying to do a better job, but I think something like this is, and hopefully somebody gives you that coin, because doing things like this will help them have that data. Because I think it's cool that you have data. I'm not saying they don't have data. They just probably didn't have the mindset or the wherewithal or the authority to do this. And I think,
Yeah.
this is definitely a good peace of mind tool to have. And I love that you did it. I think it's so cool.
Okay.
So you said you have data. What do you collect the data for? Just in general? Like, obviously, with your brother being in like law, you guys are exploring a lot of topics in a more in-depth manner and having the legal speak to do so.
Yeah, well, a lot of our data does come from UKI, which is the UK government board. And so they run different like national, international surveys, I guess. I don't know all of that. My brother does that side of things. To make sure that the data is accurate and correct. So UKI are a UK governing board. Um, and they run a lot of these things. So when we say like 10% of people are working in this, we get that data straight from Yuki, and they're very accurate. We trust what we it's government regulated, so it's actually trusted sources, not just trust me, bro, kind of statistics. And so that's where we work with them with that. What my brother does anyway. And then when it comes to more international things, again, we're always making sure that the data that we're getting is correct and accurate, and not just something that we asked five of our friends and we said, one out of four people do this, one out of five people do this. That's really important to us. And that's why we're encouraging more people to take um, to do the survey, so that we can have, so the more data we have, the more accurate of a picture we can create as to like how it really is online. Because right now it's just that pool of people that we are.
How do you plan to get more reach for the system to have more accuracy?
So with the fact that we launched it, so before we launched it, it was us asking our communities, our in-house community, so we are MG members, people. Now that it's open, good and bad, because obviously trolls, trolls love us. Got a name like Melanin Gamers, you're going to attract a lot of racist people. And so it's a screening, but of course there's other people on the other side who are just like, oh, thank God for this system. It's a really important system. We're going to make sure that we share it. And obviously, I do try and focus on those people who are coming in their droves, but human nature is human nature. The negative comments, even if it's 99% overwhelmingly good, you can be like, oh, but 1%. It's like very loud. You're gonna like be like, oh, that 1%, that 1%, oh no. And I'm not saying it's 1%. Certainly hasn't felt like 1% this week. I've been getting a lot of DMs, emails as well from trolls, which was very surprising. I was like, oh, you guys are onto emails now. Voice notes. I did not know people could leave voice notes for you on the podcast. Just one full minute of someone saying the N word just over and over and over again. No one has as much time as a troll on their hands. They have all the time in the world. Like it's been really exhausting, but it's also just like, and someone is threatened, obviously they lash out like this because that these spaces are really bad, and you want to they are out and out saying we want these spaces to remain racist. We want the most racist games, and it's crazy. And one of the people who commented on it was someone who used to work for Activision Blizzard. on Call of Duty, which makes a lot of sense. So it's just we have to just keep pushing, even though it can be very exhausting.
I can understand that when people are upset that they lash out. Every time I encounter these people, I feel like you don't really have a reason because y'all wasn't complaining about like X-Men. They're minorities. People wanted to kill them. And you guys are like, oh, I love X-Men. And it's like, but you can't make the parallel. And that's always my example. And if there was a Gamergate number for every time the system attacked like a woman or like a black woman or a woman of color, we'd be on like Gamergate umpteenth. You know, so for someone to get so brazen that they just leave you the N word, like, I don't think I have that much energy to leave the N word in a voice note. Like, how
For a minute,
upset.
1 minute.
Please, I think I would get and be like, nah, nah. Like, I couldn't keep going. Like, that's so odd for, like, it's not for them though, because they put their energy into things. And, you know, the perfect example of you saying that that person used to work at Activision, Blizzard, absolutely. They work there. They're gamer bros. They're people who, at work, they're like, oh, we would never allow this per the guideline. But me, I'm the perpetrator when I'm at home. And I think, it's important for people to look at that. But like I don't know, sometimes what don't make sense makes dollars. So people, they're not invested in that as long as they see that people are still going to engage. And I always say that I feel like the gaming industry is too young to not have learned from the movie industry, from the television industry. Like, we could just have a lot more things in place. And, I love that you're doing this work, but I also feel like it shouldn't be up to you. I'm going to say his name wrong. I want to call him Kalua. How do you say his name?
Daniel Kaluuya.
What?
I feel like I'm gonna say it wrong because you thought you said it. Daniel Kaluuya.
Daniel Kaluuya. That's what I was going to say, Kalua. I think he had a really impactful, he said something really impactful of like how every time like a black person sits down with a non-black person who is the oppressor, he said something more directly, but this is kind of how I feel. He says that they sit there and they ask, how do we stop racism? How do we stop these unfair things? And he was like, we're not the ones perpetrating it. We're not perpetuating it. So like, how would we know? Like, that should be you, like, like your thing to figure out. Like, we shouldn't always have to come to you as the oppressee and tell you how to stop oppressing us. Because if you would just go backwards, like, I was reading something. Oh, okay. It was the Barbie movie too. So I was reading something and it was the Barbie movie that was like, hey, this is how you get to like LA. But like, if you want to go home, just do everything backwards. Just do everything backwards. Just back up. Just back up. Back it up, Terry. Put it in reverse. Like, just stop doing it. Like, go backwards, And people always say, things are so hard because there's so many, there's so many rules. Remove those rules. Like, you guys just have to be on one page. You just have to be in agreement to do a thing so things can get better. So it's always interesting to be like, we can't fix this, or we're incrementally fixing this. Why? Y'all didn't, and some of these things y'all didn't incrementally put into place. You saw that it was happening and you just let it go happen. You let it happen, Mm-hmm. So I just feel like everything doesn't have to take time to be fixed. Like, some things can be fixed by next week.
Exactly.
That was a mouthful.
Oh, I completely agree with you. It's always baby steps when they are not being oppressed.
Yeah.
It's like we're gasping for air and we're just like, just hold your breath, just hold your breath. I can't breathe right now. And I'm asking you, like, help me. It's just like, just hold, but it's fine for you because you're breathing fine, aren't you? But I can't breathe and I'm asking for help. And you're the one that's strangling me. Get your hands off me. And it's crazy when they're just like, oh, you've got victim mentality. It's like, it's like you go into a casino, someone deals you a card. Stop using the race card. Stop dealing it out to me. You're the dealer and you keep giving me the race card. What? I have no other card to play. Why don't you give me the white privilege card? That's a card that's accepted globally everywhere. I'd love that card, please. Okay. The day we stop playing the race card is the day you guys stop dealing it out to us. And that's it. I would love to stop Melanin Gamers. Today, I would love to stop Melanin Gamers. If I could just go online and have a really nice experience and not have to be this, all these labels that you put on me with a negative connotation, you know? I only create, I was a gamer. I used to be a gamer when I first started gaming. And then it was just like, oh, you're this, you're that, you're that, you're that. And I was like, suddenly I had all these labels that were oppressing me. It's just like, oh, why can't you just be a gamer? I wanted to be in the first place. That's what I'm trying to get back to. And that's why we keep talking about it. So that you guys know that there is a serious problem to be had. We can fix this problem. We can all get back to games. Because that's what we want to do in the first place.
I, I completely agree with that. Because all of these people have labeled you everything but a gamer, now you have to be an advocate. Now I'm an advocate and a gamer, and you made me do it. I never said that, like, and don't get me wrong, an injustice somewhere is an injustice everywhere, right? Like, absolutely. I don't want to wake up and always advocate for this game. Like, I don't want to go and read a book or play a sci-fi game and be like, oh, this sounds like black people's story. Like, I don't want to play through it. You know what I mean? Like, it's very frustrating, and you're right. It's always baby steps. Like, you could be, imagine you were in a lake drowning, and I have like the life vest, and you're like, Junae, hurry up, and I'm like, hold on, let me finish my piece of cake. I'm coming. Just relax.
Like,
Girl, if you
come
don't
on.
run, if you don't stride, if you don't take full strides to come help me, like when I get out of this water, it's gonna be a problem. Like, it's really the same thing, and I don't know what I can say. I don't know what anybody can say. There could be melanin gamers, black girl gamers, brown girl gamer code until we're all blue in the face if they don't listen. It is a safe space for us, which we're totally fine with too. You know what I mean? Like, we want to make those differences. We want to have an impact. We want to make other people's gaming experience better. If you guys are going to keep going on, we're just going to make our own. We're just going to have our own. And then you're going to be upset. And then you're going to be like, why can't I come in? And then we're going to be like, because you're about to start that mess again. Like,
Right.
that's why.
Honestly.
And I remember reading about this, like when The Watchmen came out. And I don't know if you ever watched it. So it's not really like, I guess it might be a spoiler. So spoiler alert. There was a self-help group for people where the day the squids dropped on everybody, and they were like crushing people, and it had been like a couple years. There was a support group, and this guy was like, I didn't have a squid dropped on me, but like my mom or my grandmother did, and I still feel that effect. It is scientifically proven that the things that we experience, okay, we're going to get scientific really quickly, but it's scientifically proven that the things that people experience can be transferred from generation to generation, because when a woman is born, she has all of her eggs in her. So whatever your grandmother went through, you're experiencing that trauma. And then whatever your mom went through, like you, and if you have a next generation, they'll experience that trauma. So like people who've been through the famine, we're still like feeling it 2 generations later. And so it's like knowing that, and we're dealing with so much. We're dealing with so much already, just being like black women, black people, minorities, women in general, humans, people, organisms. We're dealing with so much already. And then to be like, this is my one place of reprieve. No, it's not. And then we have to deal with that
Exactly.
too. Like, we have to deal with that like scarcity of being like, "Ugh, I don't actually know why I'm freaking out, but like I'm freaking out." And then and then we call our trauma social anxiety, imposter syndrome, all these things, because we had to deal with what we were given, and we were never allowed to fully like handle it the way that we're supposed to be, or get the tools or get the advocacy to handle these things, and then they show up as these other things. So
No, I completely understand it. I get you, and I have read up about what you're referring to as generational trauma being a thing, and that's something that I'm really curious about. I'm reading into more because it's just like it's easy. It's easy, even if you didn't believe that. We're in it right now still. They're just like, oh, slavery happened, but we're still being oppressed now. We're still facing microaggressions. even if we leave out slavery, which is a huge thing to leave out, by the way, you guys are still doing these things to us now. We're still getting attacked. We're still this is still happening. It wasn't something in like eight. I'm talking about today, right now, this moment. So we can't not stop talking about it because it's happening to us. And we'll stop talking about the day I'll stop talking about it right now. This if you guys stop doing it. How about that? How about I say I'll never talk about racism again if I never have to face it because I don't want to talk about it. I think that's the thing they don't realize. That people don't wake up and say, you know what I want to talk. I want to talk about racism. I want to talk about oppression. No, I don't. I wanted to play my games. I wanted to play Assassin's Creed. I wanted to play The Sims. I wanted to play GTA. But I was being stopped by somebody. And that somebody is still trying to stop me. And so I'm trying to address that somebody. Can you please stop so I can play this game? And they'll just like, just play the game. Well, I'm trying to. You keep stopping me. I think that's what they don't understand. And that's what they always default to. Like, are you sure you're not making this up? Are you sure that this is not this? Anything to excuse their actions and some accountability. That's one thing I really need, some accountability. You know?
I agree with you, you know, like obviously, because you just said, you know, but I agree with you on that. I don't want to get up. It's not on my agenda. I don't wake up and be like, let's fight oppression today. Like, I wake up and I'm like, I want to go play my game, you know? And I also, I'm getting so sick and tired of the amount of anime and video games that center a white person in medieval times. I don't want to play it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. And that's we're advocating for better storylines, you know, and other people's stories. I'm not saying that I just want to be a black girl in a video game. You know what I mean? To take me through somebody else's story. And I've been talking about this since college. Like we had it was like a film class, and I asked her, like, 'cause we were watching the mining situation in America. That's why people started forming unions, because people were like dying a lot in the mines, and like that was the birth of the unions in America. And we were watching it, which I care, like it was somebody's struggle, and I simply asked her like, hey, what were the, you know, like Chinese doing at this time? What were any Asian stories, East Asian stories? Like I didn't say black stories immediately, or African American stories, or African stories. I asked about other things first, and she just completely ignored me. Like I remember, like it was yesterday, like I was like, hey, can we like watch something else, because I don't remember the timeline, but I was thinking about like the Chinese migrant workers who were working also like on the railroad as well, and I feel like it wasn't too far apart. And it's like, I know about African American history. Like, I know about that. I'm Jamaican, and I kind of know Jamaican history. Like, I feel like you got to be there sometimes for certain things, because not everything is, the revolution will not be televised. Like, everything is just not, you just can't Google everything. And so, you know, wanting to know other people's stories helps you to sympathize with them. I wrote about this in the newsletter a while ago, and I don't remember the word for it, but the reason why people can so easily ridicule people online is because they don't see them as real people. So like out of sight, out of mind thing. And so if you have a viral video, that's all you are. If you're a black girl in a game chat, that's all you are. You're not a person, you're not a mom, you're not a person who overcame, you know, some type of like sickness, a cancer survivor, you know, anything like that. You're just a black, hated already woman, super hated. You know what I mean? And then like that's all they do. So when people aren't recognizing people as people, when people aren't seeing the humanity in other people, it's a certain type of like blindness that they're not seeing. Like if you ever worked a service industry and people, sorry about that, I hit my mic, and people are being rude to you, or they just exist, or they only think you exist when they're there. Like you're an NPC, and when you walk away, the game world ends, or nothing happens until you come back. It's a certain type of blindness that people are dealing with. And if people are dealing with that in like customer service and service industries, like how much more in gaming, how much more in like virality and like TikTok and YouTube and things like that. Like they don't care. They just want to be something that they take out their anger on. They just want to be something that you're made fun of. And you know, you see it all the time where people who are like, it couldn't be me. But girl, it was you, but you're not telling the internet that. So now it couldn't have been you. You know what I mean? It's like it's the same thing. So I think, unfortunately, racism will never be solved, because there would be no need for like DEI and things like that. But because it's also like a selfish like humanity problem as well, I feel like these problems are not going to go away, and that really sucks. And I feel like that's a very like cynical way to think about it, but the old generation is raising up the new generation with the same old tendencies. Like a lot of us want to see change, but like how many of us are doing the things that we're supposed to do? How many of us care about sustainability? How many of us care about the governance powers? How many people are like checking their personal people on like racism, sexism, like this propaganda? How many people are checking that other person to be a good person? Like if we all had accountability, like you said, I think we could move forward within just seeing people as people, and then we could progress from there. But because I don't think that that's going to happen. Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Completely 100%.
Woo, that was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. Okay. Annabelle, is there anything else you would like to tell us about Melanin Gamers? Some things that you're coming up with? Some projects we should look forward to?
I guess with the esports thing, that's really huge. And we're going to be doing some. We're doing a tournament right now, currently, which thank God for the team. And different things that we're planning in the UK as well, internationally, online things. With MG, it's just a community about staying safe and also never giving up. It's been a lot for us. I know some of our members have been attacked because of this. Because we're fighting a beast that doesn't want to go down. But I do believe that we will see tangible change within our lifetime, and we're fighting for it. We're not accepting baby steps anymore. We're doing some full-grown adult steps and some jogging and some running. Yeah? Because we're not accepting it anymore. We're not just sitting back. We're not meeting our minds. We're taking up space. We're creating our own spaces as well. We will not be silent. And I just want to say that even if you have to take a break from social media, as my brother always says, learn to rest, not to give up. It's not a fight that we're giving up on by any means. So stay strong, and even if you're scared, do it anyway. Because you're necessary and you're needed and you matter. But that's all I want to say.
Lovely. That is lovely. And we talked about this the other day. Do it if you're scared, especially if you're scared. you should do it faster. Especially if you're
It's all right.
scared,
Be scared and do it anyway. Like I'm terrified most of the time of doing something, but
Oh
I
my
do it.
goodness, yeah. I agree with you. But yeah, I was just showing them your website and where they can go. You got merch, you got events, you got a lot of the stuff we were talking about. You got the team on here. You're doing a lot of great things. And
Thank God for the team.
yeah, we love to see it. We love the advocacy. We love that you want to leave a better tomorrow for any and everybody who wants that better tomorrow. And really, thank you for joining me and talking about this, and love the work that you're doing. I feel like we have been like parallel to each other, like in the gaming industry for a very long time. So it's finally nice to intersect. Look at me using my math words today. So, yeah, I love that. And go ahead, Annabelle, give us a sign off. Give us an outro for the ages.
Really? I don't know what outro to give you guys. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm in Ghana right now, so I'm very like. Even though it's been a very difficult week, at least at the end of the day, I'm surrounded by people who love me, care about me, connecting with wonderful new people that I'm glad to have met, like you, And even when things are difficult, just know that you matter in the world. Even if it's that one person, even if it's you matter to yourself. Love yourself, because that's one person that you always know is going to have your back. Everyone is good. Everyone's going to support you, but you matter too. Your story matters. soul matters, your body matters, your life matters. Everything about you is important. Like when I think about the universe and how many things there are, it's crazy that you exist despite that. You're like a grain of, can you still hear me? Like a grain of sand. Like it could be insignificant, but it still exists. And that's something that stayed with me for so long when I first heard that. I was like, it's so tiny. Like, why is it even? But it still exists. Like the universe conspired so that you're here, your existence is here. So don't take that for granted ever. You know? I know that's very deep, but gaming is amazing, gaming is fun. That's a little bit easier, lighter. Have fun, don't die, as gamers say. So I went fully deep there and I brought it back to lighthearted.
I loved it. I think that's amazing, and you should absolutely matter to yourself. Annabelle, this has been wonderful. I've learned many things, and I am encouraged and inspired. And I really just hope everyone goes and checks you out, checks out your work, and all that fun stuff. So sorry I got that phone call.
Thank you.
Really funny story about my ringtone. It's "Prepare for Trouble, Make It Double" from Team Rocket at the beginning, the like OG Pokemon. And I was on a plane and I forgot to like turn it off, and it was like "Prepare for Trouble." I was like, "I'm going to jail! I'm going to jail! I'm going to jail!" Like I just started freaking out. Yeah, but I had it like on Do Not Disturb, and I guess they had called me like more than once. So yeah, you guys, this has been amazing. Shout out to Annabelle, and she decided to stun on us in her intro. She said, "I'm in Ghana. Okay, I know you can't relate, but I'm out here being warm and eating food." So yeah, just thank you for joining. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. You had a huge day today, and you still got stuff to do. So thank you for stopping by. And we are gonna leave. I'm going to have her contact details in the description of the YouTube video. So please come check her out and share this with a friend, share her website, share the watch, which is the rating system that she's created, and please take the survey and take it serious. Okay,